Are you a professional pillow fighter? Or a 9-to-5 low-cost time travel agent? Or maybe real estate sales on Mars is your profession? It doesn't matter. Whatever it is you do, however complex or intricate, Monday.com can help you organize, orchestrate, and make it more efficient. Monday.com is the one centralized platform for everything work-related. And with Monday.com, work is just easier. Monday.com, for whatever you run. Go to Monday.com to learn more.
Regen auf mein Kopf. Hinter der Deckelbus ist die kleine Fahrt im Top. Geht mir kein Sach nicht.
Hey everyone, welcome to Kill Me Now. It's your host. Well, it's called Kill Me Now with Judy Gold, and I'm Judy Gold because I host the show. I'm the host. Welcome. This week we have part 2 of my conversation with Dulce Sloan from The Daily Show. And we talk about a lot of great stuff. And she's really smart and really funny. And you're going to learn some things about her. I really love her. I love bumping into her. I love hanging out with her. She's fucking great. Yeah, I hope that you're as excited to hear it as I was to record it. And by the way, if you live in Rhode Island, I'm putting this in the beginning of the show, I will be at the Greenwich Odeum in East Greenwich, Rhode Island on November 5th, which will be 10 days before I turn 60. I can't believe I'm turning 60. Okay, I don't even want to talk about it. So why don't we listen to my interview, sit back, relax, and enjoy Dulce Sloan. So you're doing that, which is so... I just can't imagine you doing that. And you have a friend and you're living in Atlanta, who got a job at the Funny Farm?
Yes. So this was 2007. So at this point, I was working at the auto body shop. I was managing an auto body shop. Sidebar, my boss graduated from my college.
Okay.
That's how I ended up getting that job. And that's how I was managing an auto body shop at 23.
You don't have a car in New York, do you?
No.
But if you had a car, you would be able to say, go fuck yourself. You're full of shit to these people.
Yeah. Okay. Like, boo, like, go away.
I need you to come with me when I have to get my car fixed. Okay, go ahead.
I can say now I know a lot more about body work than I do about mechanical issues.
Okay.
But I do know that there are certain things that they just say to people, especially women. And so what I would do, because I dated a mechanic who would explain things, because when we met, I had a 92 Pontiac with 283,000 miles on it that was leaking oil.
Wow.
So we became fast friends. But he already liked me.
Right.
And now he's married with a child, and he's to a woman who's built like a can of soup. But that's okay. I shit on her when he's built like a hobbit. So
right.
It is interesting that I had my heart broken by a man who I would have swiped left on a dating app.
Yeah. That's what happens.
That gets you. That's what really hurts. You know, I saw a picture of him one day and I was like, if I saw these pictures on Hinge or Bumble or whatever, and seeing the things that and like knowing what you would say, it would have been a hard left. He's the reason that I have that joke about when I hug a man, like I don't want to be with a man. I'm 5'4". Right? I don't want to be with the man who's the same height as me, because when I hug a man, I want to hear his heartbeat, not his thoughts.
I love that.
Get your ear off my ear, bro.
Right.
It's crazy. Get your ear off my ear.
You have a friend who gets a job at the Funny Farm, and you start visiting her at work.
Yeah. So she would let me get in for free. It's one of my little sisters from school. We're in the same Theater Honor Society, Alpha Psi Omega. And so it's my little sisters from school.
Now, she wasn't a comic. She just worked there.
She just worked the door. She was a girl working the door, taking tickets and shit. And I would just come up there and bother her and hang out with her. And that's how I got to meet comics. Because I would just go up there and like see, like on a Sunday, like if I wasn't doing, because I was doing plays around the city. I was doing improv. I was taking like sketch classes and stuff like that. I'm just trying to be productive.
Dulce is sipping a beverage.
I am. I'm drinking mixed fruit Pedialyte is what I'm drinking because
that sounds delish.
Yeah, because I don't know if y'all know, but when you get your eggs retrieved, makes you the whole process. The hormones makes you extremely dehydrated. So
one of my sponsors, Liquid IV, is the best.
Oh, really? I want to go to them. I want to go.
Use code Judy Gold. They are fucking great.
Liquid IV code.
Yes, I'm telling you, I love the watermelon. That is my favorite flavor. Passion fruit. I love. It's so good. I drink it really cold. Okay.
Liquid IV.
But
this is like a thing. I thought you were talking about like an IV doc situation.
No, it's a fucking thing that you put in. You add water to.
Okay. I thought you were talking about like real IVs. Have you done that before?
What? Real IVs? Yeah, I've been in the hospital.
No, I'm talking about the ones where you're like, I'm dehydrated, and then someone comes to your
No. Have you?
Yeah. It helped. I can say.
But they put it in your wrist, right?
Yeah, they put it in your arm. It's intravenous fluid.
No,
yeah.
I can't with that shit. I'll just drink.
I did talk to the doctor about it, and he looked at me like I was crazy. He was like, Can you swallow? I was like, yes. Ugh. And he was like, just drink water.
And then you gave him a blowjob. Hey now, good night, everyone.
Listen, if he had on a wedding ring, he got some. But yeah, so I started meeting comics. That's how I met like Clayton English and Johannes Collins and Big Kenny. And Big
Kenny Johnson.
Yeah, Big Kenny's the one.
He's the one that told you to be a comic and taught you how to write a joke.
Yep. But it took him 2 years to get me to do because he taught a stand-up class. And I just kept telling him no. And I was like, Big Kenny, I'm an actor. I don't want to.
Yeah, but I read that they said you told great stories. Yeah, I mean, here you are in the theater.
Yeah. Did
you see a difference in the people that were doing stand-up versus the people who were doing theater? I mean, the camaraderie?
Absolutely. It's the thing that the reason I didn't want to do stand-up is because doing stand-up scared me.
Right.
Because I'd never been on stage and been myself and said my own words.
Right.
So I knew. So like, that's the thing. Like when I see comics go on stage, I'm like, because people are like, what's your, like for new comics, what's the tip you want to give them? I'm like, plant your feet, find your light. And that will stop 40% of the issues that you're having.
Right.
Because it's the fact, like when a lot of comics start, they've never been on stage before. So Big Kenny said for me, I'd already knocked out half the issues.
Right. Being comfortable up there. Yeah.
Because I had been on stage. I'd been on stage in front of a 1,000-seat theater.
Right.
By myself. And done I used to sing. I used to do musicals. I've sing. I've danced. I've done children's shows. I've done Jack and the Beanstalk, where I was the goose that laid the golden eggs, and all my emotions conveyed through squawking. But
it was a comfortable space.
It was for
you. And I've heard you speak about this, which I totally agree with. The audience smells fear. The audience smells when you are uncomfortable, and it makes them uncomfortable. It's not like they're there to see someone struggling,
And that's why there's those comics. The comic that works in the space of the audience being uncomfortable is working a lot harder than other comics. Because you are making people uncomfortable. You're making people uncomfortable with what you're saying, but not your presence on stage. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because when people see somebody on stage, they want to trust.
Big thing. Big thing. Yes.
That's why the bait and switch is always a good comedic tactic, because it's like, you thought I was going to say this thing?
Right.
Nah, bitch, I said this other thing.
Right.
So that's why it works. But the comics that want the crowd to be awkward, if you are also awkward, like an Andy Kaufman situation,
right,
then nobody knows what the fuck is happening, and the audience is even more fucked up, right?
Right.
If you're living in that awkward comedy.
But they trusted him. They trusted Andy Kaufman. Yes.
But it took a second. They didn't immediately trust him because they were like, what the fuck is this?
Wait, what's up? All right, I'll go along with it. Yeah.
And then once you look, because even in his awkwardness, he still lets you know we're doing this together. Together, we're doing this. And so getting on stage and seeing, people when they're first starting, that's why I hate going to open mics.
Right.
Because people think that it's elitist that I don't go to open mics or whatever. One, they're open mics. Fuck wants to go to an open mic.
Right.
Two,
save it for the people who need the open mics.
Bro, you don't need me here. What the fuck am I doing here?
Right.
I work to never have to be in here again. But the other thing, the real reason I don't like going to open mics is because as a performer, I can feel you struggling.
Oh, yeah. 100 times more than the audience can. Yes.
So to see 10 people go up and there's probably 2-3 good people on it. There's 7 people who are fucking flailing. And to see someone flailing because there's a difference in watching someone flail and then there's watching someone flail, knowing that feeling.
Right.
And then almost reliving it.
Yes.
Or not being able to help them.
Right. Well, it makes me think of the slap because I've known Chris. We started together. I've known Chris for so long. Right. And people, when that happened, I got physically ill. That's my brother. Like, I'm sorry. And
that makes sense.
And I also know him, and like people were like, "Oh, was that planned?" I'm like, "No, look, I knew immediately."
The number of people that asked me if that was planned, and my answer to that person was always, "The point of that would be what?"
Right.
What is the point? What is the point? There's no entertainment value
to an assault.
There's no entertainment value to Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. What I will say is, as a comic, it bothered me. As a person, I understood it.
Right.
Only because there's only so many times you can talk about a man's wife. I understand he's a comic. Chris Rock has been making jokes about that woman since the 90s. And you can tell by the jokes that he was doing that she had rejected him at some point in the 90s or whatever. Now, am I saying should he have slapped him? No. Should he have slapped him in front of all those white people? Absolutely the fuck not. That was a family fight that should have been done in the back at an after party or a conversation. That's not a slap.
Right.
All them white people shouldn't have seen that. Right? The whole audience shouldn't have seen that. We shouldn't. And also it's like there was a black production company for the Oscars that year. So that should have been a family fight. If you're going to slap this man, don't do it on stage. What I didn't like about the situation, so I understood that there's so many times you can talk about a man's wife without that man reacting, period. There's so many times you can talk about a person's spouse or partner without that person reacting.
Right.
Because he had to apologize and pass for what he said. What I didn't like more about it was that it stopped being about Will Smith hitting Chris Rock. It started being about Jada Pinkett's infidelity and how that
which made
him hit Chris. And I was like, no. Will Smith is a grown ass man.
Right.
Even
that's a
Jada
good point.
Pinkett would have said, slap the shit out of him. He made the decision to get up and do it. So all accountability was taken. I had women in my face going, well, he only did this because Jada cheated. How the fuck does him slapping Chris Rock have anything to do with his marriage?
Right.
So it's not only we're not making Will Smith accountable. Now it's Jada Pinkett's fault.
Right. It's always the woman's fault.
Hello? Right. It's always the woman's fault. So it's just like that whole situation was, so it stopped being about the trauma that happened to Chris Rock and started being about what Jada Pinkett did wrong.
Right.
which
But
was
that's
not,
that's why you're so good at your job, because that is breaking it down, and you can separate the narrative from the truth.
thank you.
You're
'Cause
welcome.
It's every time that like Kanye would flip out, they'd blame it on Kim Kardashian. I'm just like, what the
Right?
fuck?
No. Why are
Crazy.
men never have to fucking take responsibility for anything?
What I love, I got the wildest DM the other day.
Yeah.
This woman messaged me and said, hey, I just want to come to you woman to woman about Trevor. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Now, when you know somebody comes to you woman to woman,
Yeah.
that means that somebody is out here doing dirt.
Right.
And she was like, I just want to come to you woman to woman about Trevor. And, you know, if you want to talk to me, here's my number. You know, maybe we can get together. All of us could get. And I was like, wait. What just happened here?
What is that about?
Girl, I don't know. Because I'm like, you can't come to me woman to woman when you're trying to get with him, you goofy bitch. No.
Oh
Woman
my
to woman
God.
woman to woman means.
So glad I'm a lesbian again.
Girl, you telling me ain't no woman coming to some woman to woman with a lesbian cheek? That seems like everybody's going woman to woman in that whole situation. It's only women to women. Like that's
But they all know each other. That's the whole problem with the they all know each other. They break up, but they're best friends and share a dog or a cat. It's like just ridiculous with the lesbians. They never let go.
That's interesting. Well, they always.
Yeah.
Do they really move in together that fast?
Oh my! Some of them, yeah. Elisa and I don't live together. So, and we've been
I've
together
heard
15 and a half years.
I've heard about this, that y'all don't stay in the same abode.
Yeah. Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with a Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
All right, I have to go back to your life.
Yes,
You
please.
become a comic.
Yes, Big Cat convinces me to. So this is how I become a comic.
Because you're a theater person.
Yes.
When you get on stage finally,
Yes.
as Dulce,
Yes.
you know, bare, raw Dulce,
Yes, me.
and you get your first laugh as Dulce, is it a different feeling than laying the golden egg?
I think, like Big Kenny was saying, because I knew how to tell a story, and I knew how to tell a joke, and I had been in comedic plays before, so I knew what getting a laugh felt like.
But it's your own stuff. Was it different? Yeah.
I could say it was surprising. Because when I'm telling a story, I know exactly. First of all, I've told the story before. I know where the laugh is, but
Right.
this is a conversation.
Right.
If these are not jokes. The other thing is, Big Kenny was teaching a class, a stand-up class. That's what he was trying to get me to take. And I wouldn't take
Right.
the class, and I didn't have the $300 for the class. And the class comes up again. I'm not working. And I tell him that. And then he goes, you're supposed to do this. You're not going to pay for the class. And then a couple days later, my mother said she had a dream that that the world was laughing at me.
Wow.
So I was like, all right, between Jesus and my mama and Big Kenny not making me go to this, not charging me the $300 for this
Wait,
class.
Jesus. Go ahead. Yeah.
Hey, yo, give that bit. Let's acknowledge the fact that the man is Jewish, okay? Why we keep playing this game?
Okay.
L'chaim. So,
Okay.
all of these things came together, and I was like, you know what? My mother had this dream. The class is going to be free. Let me take it. So the first time I did stand up in front of an audience, it was a set that had been vetted through a 6-week class.
Okay.
So that I knew was going to be
Right, because you had already been working on it. It
Right.
wasn't, yeah.
the first laughs that I actually got from something that I worked on was like a year later. I was doing a show at the new Funny, because the Funny Farm had closed and moved. And I was doing these jokes, And I'd been doing them for a while. And then I just got on stage and was just like, I'm tired of saying these fucking jokes. Let me just go off the top of my head.
Right.
And see what happens. And so I ended up recording it on my phone, and I ended up with like a new, like almost like 10 minutes. Because I just talked about like conversations I'd had with my brother, certain things like that. And like that was the first time.
Right. You let it all go and you felt like a real comic.
Yeah. And because the thing is, when you ask me about the difference between actors and comics, I can tell you, being around actors, I am an actor, but being around actors, I would always describe it as like, when I was younger, maybe not so much now, I describe it as like when you're doing a puzzle and the piece, it's gonna, like it's the right shape and the cutout is right, but you put it down and it just doesn't
fit. Yeah.
It just does it. One side always kind of, never lays completely flat. It just kind of, one side just kind of pops up a little bit, but the shape is all right. That's how I always kind of felt around actors a lot of the time. And then I got around comics and it was like, oh, there are other people that see the world. But like, Judy, I've been wanting to say this on stage for so long and I've never figured out how to do it. So we all know Schindler's List. Ding. Not to take over. I remember, I guess, seeing parts of it as an adult. And it was the scene, it was like an interview or something on TV. And they were showing a scene where they were like closing the door to the train and closing the door to the gas chambers. And then there was like a scene where they like go to shoot somebody, like, because they couldn't figure out who stole that chicken. And I was watching it. And then I remembered, this is a fucking movie.
Right.
So some of this shit, you've done a movie before.
Mm-hmm.
Some of this shit doesn't work. So they go to slide a door and it doesn't fucking close. And it's just 3-4 times of them trying to close this door. Or they go to shoot and the gun doesn't work.
Right.
What I'm saying is, I want to see the Schindler's List blooper reel. That's what I want to see. I'm never gonna release it.
Right.
I'm never gonna let it happen.
Right. It's make believe. Yeah. But
no gonna let that happen.
Right.
But I said that to a regular person one day, and they looked at me like I was fucking nuts. I said that.
Well, no, that is a great idea for a bit. Like, no matter what movie you're fucking watching, it's a fucking movie.
It's a movie, and even if it's a movie that's like so intense like that, I'm like
that, and they have to read. I mean, there is something, and okay, your baby is going to be taken away. Let's take 2 on the baby being taken away.
Damn.
Okay. We need your baby. Let's do it again. We need to get different light on the baby being murdered. Yeah,
actually,
that's exactly.
Can we bring in this one's kind of
cut
the baby, please?
Yeah, cut.
Like, I was like looking and I was like, this is a fucking movie. So some of this shit, somebody was like, there was probably a very intense scene where the old boy's typing and the typewriter gets stuck.
Right.
Some shit.
And someone's phone went off.
Yeah,
well, not on Schindler's List because I don't think there were phones. Yeah,
right. But like,
I get it.
Somebody fucking flubbed a line.
I like that.
Like that. But you see what I'm saying? You say that to us like with comics called non-comic civilians. But this girl was like, why would you think that? I said, because it was still a fucking
right. That people don't get the way we think.
That's what being around comics.
I know you feel understood. There is a thing. It's like, I can say whatever I am thinking to you and you're not going to think like, what the fuck? Like, it's true. That is so true. Because even with Elisa, she's like, really? I'm like, no.
This is not. I looked at somebody. I was like, Schindler's List blooper reel, and my homeboy went, "Go on," because he's a comic. He's like, give me examples. What happened? What do you think went down? Like the first thing you did after I told you was, "Oh yeah, the baby cut." We did the second take. Like that's
because I'm sorry, your hair. Can you move the hair? And like the person's like, cut. Okay.
Yes. Background. Background. Listen, when they go into the I need you to all fall at the same time. The gas at the same time.
So you're going to get shot into the pit.
Yeah.
Okay, number 4.
So,
You're dying a little, like, can you just die quicker and get into that dip? Thank you.
Your death's taking too long. You don't while you're falling.
I love it.
Slow. Yes.
God,
so
we're
that's
creating. We're creating.
Yes. That's
Dulce.
what being a comic is like. It's like being able to have
I love that description.
Wildest fucking thought. Yeah.
In 2017, you auditioned for The Daily Show. And you went in not even thinking you were going to get it. And your birthday is July 4th.
Yes.
Everything I've read about your audition or heard you say about your audition tells me you weren't the least bit nervous.
Listen, I didn't even want to move to New York.
Right. You hate New York. We know that.
Listen, you're welcome. But yeah, that audition. Well, so they gave me a deadline of like Thursday. I was on the road. I was in New York. One of my friends was supposed to help me do the tape.
Right.
She couldn't help me. I missed the deadline. Right. And I called my manager and I was like, I missed the deadline. Shit. You miss deadlines for auditions all the time when you're on the road. Right.
Right.
And so I was like, fuck, I missed the deadline. Okay, fine, whatever. And then he calls me back and goes, they gave you an extension. And I was like, motherfucker. Okay, fine. I got out of just another audition. I'm going to go to bed, whatever. And then, so for me to be able to tape it, I had to call my manager on my laptop and then use my phone as the camera.
Right.
And then, because he was very adamant that I was going to get this tape in. And so I send the first tape in, and then I have to do another callback, and I have to send that in. And then they
wrote something that you were supposed to do, right?
They told me they gave me something to do in front of the green screen.
Right.
And then the second piece I had to write for the callback. And my piece was about how hard it is to be Black and have my birthday on July 4th.
Right.
And
I love it. And you painted your nails.
Oh, I had July 4th nails.
Right.
Me, uncle at the nail shop, I had all kind of airbrushed fireworks and July 4th, all kind of patriotisms.
Yeah.
All up in these uñas. You see what I'm saying? So I wanted to know, I just needed to know, listen, if I get this job, these nails going to have to stay. I pop in. Because I currently have red nails out here looking like a high school principal.
Yeah.
It's a class. What are you doing out here? Or, the Jezebel of your town. Giving you real adult.
Or you can have the Jewish, I pick my cuticles since I'm, 3 years old.
No, ma'am.
Nails.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Band-Aids on. You'll be all right. I used to bite my nails, but I wanted pretty long nails like my mama, so I stopped. Which means at one point I had willpower. So.
Yeah, you go in, you audition for Trevor, correct? Mm-hmm. And then you get in a car, you're hanging out, and you get in a car to go back to the airport. And within 2 hours of your audition, you have 90 people on the phone, everyone who represents you, telling you.
Motherfuckers on the phone. And I was like, because people don't realize that it's your manager, right? So first of all, your manager's assistant calls you, and then your manager's on the phone. And then that assistant then has to call your lawyer. Their assistant gets a lawyer on the phone. Then everybody who's on your team at your agency. So there's, a population of a small town on the phone, and they're like, you got the job. And I was like, I know I got the job. And they're like, how do you know? I said, because when I don't get a job, it's only my manager.
Right. I know. Whenever they call me together, my manager, my agent, my lawyer, I'm like, it's either something really horrible.
Yes.
Or you got the job.
Yeah.
So,
like y'all ain't fooling nobody. But I can tell you the crazy thing is, people are going to hate me for this. When my manager told me about the audition, I had a gut feeling, and it's only happened a few times, where I was just like, fuck, I'm going to get this job.
Yeah, I know. I know that feeling.
I just knew. I was like, that's why I was like, I can't get the audition. But I already knew I was going to get the job. And I was like, I didn't get it. And he was like, no, they gave you an extension. I was like, of course they did.
This week's episode of It's Judy Show with Judy Gold is sponsored by BetterHelp. And if you know me, which I think you do because you're listening to my podcast right now, you know that I am a big advocate for therapy. I think it benefits everyone. I think there's so many people who need it, who don't partake. It is so important for your emotional health and well-being. Therapy is fantastic. It is in every stretch of the imagination. And if you're thinking of starting therapy, please do it. But please give BetterHelp a try. It is entirely online. It's designed to be convenient. It's flexible. It suits your schedule. You fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. I have switched therapists in my life. I've had many, many therapists, and you know, sometimes it's not a great fit for you, but don't give up. Therapy is beneficial. You can learn about yourself, you can process, and just be emotionally healthy. I'm telling you, do it. BetterHelp is great because, you know, when I used to schlep to my therapist's office, it was so annoying. You have to do it, and you sit there and you wait, and then I'm telling you, doing it online is fantastic. And BetterHelp is amazing. I know a lot of people who've used it. So if you're thinking about therapy, go to BetterHelp.com. Let the gratitude flow. This is Gratitude Month, people. So you need to let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/JudyGold, JudyGold, today, and you will get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/JudyGold. You're welcome.
Now, Trevor's leaving.
I'm happy for him to be starting the next
chapter of his life.
Yeah.
Do you I mean, I remember when it started. I mean, I remember when the Comedy Channel started, when Comedy Central started. Does it make you nervous there's going to be a new host, or do you look forward to whatever?
It's none of my business.
Yeah.
It's none of my business. As long as this check come when it's supposed to come.
Right.
It's none of my business.
I mean, we really have no control over anything in this fucking business.
No,
and it's not about us. That's the other thing.
Honestly, that's that man's career. You know, they've already let us know the show ain't going nowhere, and that's fine. But if the show does go somewhere, I'm going to get another job.
Right.
I think the thing I don't appreciate is everybody that I know, especially at comics, being like, well, I'm rooting for you to be the new host. And I'm like, I don't want that job. Well,
right.
I think it'd be great for you.
I know, but no one asked you. No one fucking asked you.
No one asked you. I haven't seen you in months. What the fuck are you talking about?
And shut the fuck up.
Right.
I hate people so much. I can't even
But listen, my favorite is, so can you tell me anything? No, I can't. It's a fucking I can't tell you.
It's a goddamn work thing.
I know. Job. I can't. Nobody at KFC can sit up and tell you all them damn 11 herbs and spices. I cannot fucking tell you what the fuck is happening at my job. And I'm like, even if I did know, some comment was like, I can't believe you didn't tell me. I'm like, bitch, you know how jobs work. Listen, look at JFL. They swear comics to silence just for JFL.
Oh, I know. I know. It's so stupid.
So what I'm saying is that's what's been nuts for people like, so what do you know? So what's happening? I'm like, first of all, we've only spoken 7 times in life.
And I'm not telling you about my fucking personal shit.
No,
sorry.
I'm not telling you about my job. I'm not telling you about Trevor. I'm not giving you no insights. I'm not giving you cheat codes because it's still professionalism. It's still a job. I'm not telling you shit.
Right.
But it's don't root for me. I don't want the job. That's somebody else's blessing.
Right.
And if I tell you I literally had to say to somebody the other day, I said, the job is very fucking hard. You don't work there. I just think it'd be great for you. Thank you.
Okay, but no one asked you. Shut the fuck up. The things that people say to comics because they think they know us.
But this is comics saying
Comics saying it. And it's just because they want a fucking job. That's why.
Judith. Judalina. Talk about that. You know you can't live vicariously through me.
Right, exactly.
I can't.
And then, like, you're gonna get the job and be like, you know who said to me, I hope you get the job? I want to give that person a job.
Hey,
no.
You know what? You know what you should hope for me? A fucking husband. Where's that husband?
Yeah, I want you to have a husband. I want you to have kids because I think you'd be. I think that, I can't believe we have to stop because here's the other things I wanted to talk to you about. The fact that you thought Trump was going to win and he didn't.
With the second time?
Yes.
Oh, I just have no faith in America.
Right. Same. I love that. I wanted to talk about, we need 20 more minutes. That you hate being cold.
Ooh, that's genetic, Judy.
Yeah. I hate it too, even though I'm fucking Eastern European. I love that you're now in therapy, that your podcast, and that your bit about the way I just love your take on racism. It needs to be spread around the world, and people need to understand the way you talk about it is reading about you and that your mother and the profound effect that your mother dealing with segregation had on you. And then the fact that you talk about, listen, the South versus the North, which no one talks about, because we didn't have plantations in the North.
But there was slavery.
There was slavery. The fact that Central Park were homes for, it was a huge Black community before it was turned into such. I mean, there's so much people need to know. And the way you talk about the North separating the white people into, it's segregating white people.
Yeah, I was talking about like the Irish and the Italians and the fucking Greeks.
Because they, you know why? Because they came over here not against their will.
Yeah.
And created their own communities. And then you bring Black people over here against their will and treat them as 3/5, not even a person, and they build the entire country. They built your fucking country.
They built the White House.
Fucking assholes. Yeah, built the fucking, I hate them. Okay.
And the reason that you discriminate against the Irish and the Italians because they're Catholic.
Right.
So one of the things I talked about one of my auditions was, and I got to hop off because I got to go to therapy.
I know. I have two questions you have to answer because every podcast. All right, ready? Oh, well, first of all, what do you do for your mental health? Which I think we already covered because you just started therapy.
Therapy? Korean dramas.
Korean, and you're learning how to speak Korean, I read.
Yeah.
Korean drama. Okay.
감사합니다. So the thing about Korean dramas, right? When you watch anything with subtitles, is you can't do anything else.
Right.
You got to look at the screen the whole, because if you look down,
can't
miss a plot point.
Right.
So it makes your brain just
brilliant. Focus, man.
You're watching action. You're
very smart.
Words. Also, I have a craft room in my apartment.
Crafts. That's great. Okay. Podcast is called Kill Me Now because I get pissed off about a lot of things. And I say kill me now all the time. What pisses you off more than anything in the entire world?
Ooh.
That makes you fucking crazy. It could be the littlest thing, but what makes you like, I can't fucking deal with this?
Little things not working. Like a thing that there's no reason that it.
Right. I get, yeah. Okay. So
like a lighter not working.
Right.
A website not coming up correctly.
Yes. Like something that you think you don't have to think about, that they make you fucking think about because it's fucking up your day.
Yes.
And your plans. Yes, I agree with that.
A little thing that drives me fucking nuts. Yeah. Like a zipper fucking up on something.
Yeah. And because it's tiny, but it fucks everything up.
This dress won't close. I can't get this open to get my headphone. Like little things fucking up drives me insane. Truly.
I think that's an ADD thing because, you got to go. But I think it's an ADD thing because we're already on to the next thing. And that thing is ruining our going on to the next thing.
Oh, I think it's just because I don't like things not cooperating with me.
Yes, I agree with you.
Where it's like, all you have to do is be a zipper. This is what you do all day. You're
a zipper. Zip, you motherfucker.
Up and down, bitch. That's it. That's all you were born to do. Why are you doing this wrong?
Right. And don't separate. Don't fucking separate, you motherfucker.
Anything not doing its job makes me mad.
I love you. I think you're awesome. I love when we're in the same place together, and I can't thank you enough.
Thank you for having me.
Dulce, you're fucking great. Please follow Dulce. She's fucking great and smart. And I want to do something together.
Yeah, let's do it.
What can we do?
I don't know.
All right. Talk to your therapist about it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. She's a nice
All right.
lady. I love you. Thank you so much.
Love you. Thanks for being on. Mwah. Thank you so much for listening to part 2 of Kill Me Now with Dulce Sloan. I love her. She is awesome. Kill Me Now is produced by Laura Vogel, edited by Colin Schmaling, and would not be possible. There would be no podcast without the help of Brittany Jo Sowers. If you haven't subscribed and left a review, I fucking hate you. 5 stars. Oh, yeah. Oh, I wanted to tell everyone that I looked up my Lyft. You know how they give you, if you listen to the end, you know that I'm obsessed with my Uber and Lyft. Whatchamacallits. What are they called? Reviews? I'm looking on my phone. Okay, so I have on Lyft, I just want you to know, are you ready? My rating, it's called a rating, I couldn't remember, on Lyft is 5.0! Guys, and people, and they, thems, and everyone. Can you fucking believe that? I'm a 5.0. I worked really hard for that. So on Lyft, I'm a 5.0. On Uber, by the way, I am, are you ready? I am still a mere 4.48. Fuck you, Uber. I am so fucking nice, and I always tip. Here's the thing. I don't know if this happens to you, but like I'll be in a car and the driver will suck, but I know that this is his life. And he probably has like 12 kids and, you know, family out of the country. And I don't, unless it's like dangerous or they're like anti-Semitic or anti-gay or racist or whatever the fuck, I will give them a good review. Is that bad? If I think they need the job. And then I also feel like if you suck at your job, fuck you. But, you know, this country's so fucked up. So I don't know. Tell me if you're listening to the end. Tell me if you think it's bad. If I still give, because I'll give 4 stars. And then they're asking me questions like, why? And I'm like, oh, God, do I have to really narc on this person? But, you know, sometimes I tend to get, this is something. And you can ask Elisa, because this is totally true. Whenever I get in like an Uber or a Lyft, I literally get the slowest driver who's driving like 10 to 15 miles an hour. And I know they're being safe, but I want to fucking kill myself. You know, we're in New York City, fucking step on it. You know what I mean? Okay. But I do get the slowest drivers. I can't. I mean, maybe that's why I have a 5.0, because I just sit there and I don't say anything. And they probably say, oh, pick this one up because she's not going to complain about how fucking slow you're driving. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Again, I will be at the Greenwich Odeum Theater in East Greenwich, Connecticut on November 5. 10 days after that, I turn 60. I'm doing Laughing Liberally, which is a show in New York City. And it's at a theater, and I can't see the theater name because I'm not that smart. Yeah. So look that up, Laughing Liberally. And it's liberal comedians who are talking about the state of our beautiful country. Anyway, okay. So I think that's all I have to say to you. Happy Halloween. I don't know what you're dressing up as, but this is what I used to dress up as when I was in high school. These are my big. Or was I in high school or was I older? I would put wrapping paper on me and a bow, and then I would have a card on the front that said "To the world from God," and I would act really snotty, and I was God's gift to the world. Come on, that's funny, right? Whatever. Okay, so no one has written me to tell me that they listen until the end. Otherwise, I would, say your name. But unfortunately, I don't have anyone. So please write to me and tell me you listened to the end, and then I will mention you and thank you. And I don't know, that's it. I love you all. Thank you. Thank you for listening. And as we always say, so long. Oh, I'm not even saying so. I want you to fucking vote.
Okay, so that's on the 8th. But I'm just mentioning that. Okay, now I'm saying so long again. So long. Ga, 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 ga.
Ritual is hardly the only brand running a 40% off sale, but it is the only sale asking you to shop responsibly. In this chaotic sale season, we're urging you to think about what's essential. Supporting your foundational health, immune system, and gut microbiome, all pretty essential. How about making sure your products are heavy metal tested, clean label project certified, and vetted for ingredients deemed high risk for human rights and environmental issues? Also essential. So this Black Friday, skip the micro trends and put your savings where they matter. Your health. Give back to your body and support your foundational health with 40% off daily essentials like Symbiotic Plus for gut support, Hyacera for skin support, and stress relief to support the body's natural cortisol response. Ritual products are science-backed, vegan, GMO-free, and sourced through their trademark traceable supply chain. Get 40% off at ritual.com/podcast and shop responsibly.